Hey, what's up, everybody? Today's pair is an early 2000s pair. As you can tell from the box, it is an Air Force One low. Colorway is white, university blue, medium gray, and size 10.5. So, box not in the best condition, but the kicks not so bad. This is a Euro exclusive Air Force One low from 2001, and it is a pretty clean colorway, a little unique for now. They don't really do this kind of swoosh style so much. But back in the day, they did it a few times in the early 2000s, where it has that kind of the border, the stitched border. And yeah, all around a clean pair. Without the light, maybe a little better. Yeah, it's like I said, Europe exclusive. I'm not sure. I think it was JD Sports that had these back in 2001. I could be wrong on that, but for sure an exclusive to Europe. That early 2000s, that this blue kind of was popular, especially the little bit of a sheen to it. With that silver, kind of a little bit of a futuristic look back then almost. The metallic silver was kind of popular. Metallic in general, late 90s, early 2000s was kind of popular. Back here is interesting. It's like I think it's a 3M actually. And even though these aren't worn that much, just whenever like this gets bent, because it's stiff and it's 3M, it any crease is like permanent, so it looks all creased up back there, but you can kind of hear it. It's that 3M style. Inside, you got Nike Air, and then that early 2000s kind of what is that word? I always forget that word. Not silk, but it's that material that I always forget the material name, but really nice, soft liner that they always used. This is an interesting pair because it was kind of in the middle of the, so 12/19/01 is the date in there. See if you can focus in on that. Come on. There we go. Yeah, so 12/19/01, so end of 2001, probably released, so these probably released early 2002, kind of in between era when Air Forces, when they started downgrading the quality, changed the shape a little bit. Once the demand grew, popularity, early 2000s, then I think they were like, okay, we're gonna save money. So this pair is interesting because it's kind of in between the two different eras, where you have this was one of the changes that they made, this grip down here, and the tread pattern here it's like half the old style, half the new style, so it's still big, and it has the kind of big pronounced tread pieces, but they're also like much flatter like the newer ones. So I was comparing pairs, and it's definitely like just in between. So I'm thinking, and then also the toe box, they brought the toe box up kind of like the newer style, where they'd make it bulkier, and less of like an athletic looking shoe. They're still rounded, which is nice. Still a rounded style toe box. And the leather is still good, but it's definitely kind of a chunkier look. And previously it would have been more aerodynamic. The midsole is also, it just seems a little bit closer to the kind of lifestyle fit that they eventually went towards. But unique tread pattern. I haven't seen it on any other Air Force Ones that I've had from the early 2000s, just because it's like it's still got the big tread, but it is flat. Whereas the old style was the big tread, and it was like more indented, so they came out more, and they had kind of more of a grip to them. Whereas the new style are flat like this. It's like that flat style, but they're not as big. They're like flat, and they're wider, and they're a little bit shorter. So, and they seem like they've gone with that style ever since. Fortunately, it still does have a little bit of the athletic, like the curve back here, which now you never get. Now it's a completely straight, flat. The midsole is really thick, also just like flat, chunky, bulky look. But the leather on these is still really nice. You can see how thick that cut of leather is. I don't know why this is not focusing. There we go. Super nice, and not like synthetic leather. It's real leather. It's not as buttery soft as pairs like from 2000, early 2001, 2000, and then before. It's got a little bit stiffer, but not bad. It's kind of like in 2002, they went to this leather where it's still nice, but you can tell it's getting a little cheaper. And then the tongue also, before they used to keep the same leather on the tongue. This is definitely a more synthetic feel. It's still leather, but it just has more of a downgraded feel to it, which pretty much I think all 2002 Air Force Ones have. But the shape is still really nice, very clean pair. The camera's having a hard time focusing today. The bottom, so kind of a rare pair. You don't see these too often. They do pop up, but excuse me, I have some allergies. But yeah, you can see the toe box is definitely a much bigger looking toe box. The lifestyle look was definitely on the horizon with these, which these are still nice, but they are a little clunkier than pairs from earlier in 2001. It's interesting how it all kind of happened at once, but then gradually it just got worse and worse. It seemed like it happened in 2002, but kind of stayed steady for a few years. But then after that, it got to where it is now, and it's not even good at all now. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't even see this. So, okay. Wow. The two pairs are actually different tread pattern a little bit. The two shoes. So the older pairs had more of this, where I'm gonna zoom in here. So I'm not sure if it picks up. Maybe the light would be better. But the tread pattern here it has that grip. You can see the grip kind of all the way, the texturized all the way you know, on top of the little tread rectangles, and it's not smooth. So the new ones are smooth, they're wider, and they're, you know, like fatter, and they're a little, they're pretty much flat. Kind of like that. On this side, they have, it's a little different. That's weird. So there's two different shoes, but they're different. So it's almost like they're in between. So you can see how this pair over here is like really sharp on the right, and this one is like more rounded. So it's like two different tread patterns, even though it's the same pair. Interesting. Yeah, so it's, never noticed that, but I mean, it's a small difference, but when you add them all up at the kind of what the Air Force One has become now, it's interesting to see how they gradually downgraded things slowly and slowly. I think the older ones were more, well, I mean, the older ones were definitely, they were still making them like an athletic shoe. I mean, not completely, you know, they knew people were still just wearing them for whatever, but yeah, I think it's more expensive to make them more of an athletic fit, better quality, more of a like a snug fit, you know, that form fits to the foot. Whereas now it's like a lifestyle shoe. They make, you know, they pump them out, and the factories are cheap. There's not that kind of curvature. There's not, everything is like flat, bulky, kind of boxy looking. You see Air Forces now, and they have these huge bends up here, and there's so much extra room in the toe. They don't like fit your foot snug like a you know, good quality shoe would. But yeah, these are the University Blue Euro release from 2001. I think they actually released in 2002, but pretty clean shoe overall. A little on the boring side, to be honest. Yeah, this is like a 3M too. I'm not sure if it's actually 3M, but it really feels like it. It's kind of the same material back here. Yeah, still classic Air Force One from the good old days. Hope you guys liked the video. Probably gonna be selling these soon. If you guys dig the pair, look for them on eBay. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hope you have a nice day.